Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and this is Windows Server 2019 training tutorial, and this is number 24 video in this series. And today in this video I'm going to show you how to install and configure Microsoft RDS remote desktop services on Windows Server 2019 step by step. So installing Microsoft RDS depends on your requirement, what you are looking for and what is your requirement. So there was multiple ways, like you can publish application by using remote desktop services. You can do the session host based deployment. You can do the virtual machine based deployment by using the RDS. So there was a multiple way to deploy RDS and install and configure RDS as per your requirement. So in this video I'm going to show you the most simple way to install and configure Microsoft RDS, which is quick start deployment. So we are going to do this, and before getting into the installation and configuration, let's review some basic details about Microsoft RDS, and then we will go ahead and do the installation and configuration for Microsoft RDS. So here is Microsoft desktop remote desktop services core architect. So there was basically 5 type of server role which you can install when you are configuring Microsoft RDS remote desktop services. So the first role, which is remote RDS session host, this is the role where you can do the multiple session host session. You can users can host a multiple log into the same server, and that server is going to host the multiple sessions. So you can say provide multi sessions for users and session for both remote desktop application and remote desktop session. So you can so basically this role is going to hold a multiple session which is going to come from RDS users. Might be more than 2 or 3, or depending on how much sessions you allowed to create on one server. So you can this is RDS session host, and this is RD virtualized host. So enable VDI scenario for RDS infrastructure, enable Microsoft virtual machine to run on Hyper-V host. So when you deploy a Microsoft VDI solution, you must need to have a Microsoft RDS RD virtualization host, which is a basically Hyper-V host where all the virtual machine or VDI is going to run. So we'll see this also, and this is Rds Connection Broker. So you can see manage session redirection, application publishing, allow administration for RDS services. So Connection Broker is a main tool from where you can main server role from where you can manage your whole RDS infrastructure. Like if you want to do any administration task related to Microsoft RDS, you have to go to the you have to connect to Microsoft RDS Connection Broker, and then you can do the management and administration. Also this manage the redirection on application publishing. So if you want to publish any application or delete any application which is previously published, you have to go there and do the application publishing or unpublishing. Also this server Connection Broker is going to manage your connection, all requests which is going to be come from RDS customer or end user or client. The session Connection Broker is going to manage those where these connections need to be routed, or for example, if you have a multiple session host servers where these if any incoming connection is coming, where this connection need to be routed. So it's going to be handled by RDS Connection Broker. So and next role we have RD Web Access. So you can see here provide a web-based interface for remote application and session-based desktop. So basically RD Web Access require you can use users can go and log into internet browser or any web page, and then they can log into their RDS infrastructure, and then they can use the application which is published on RDS farm or session host server which is published on farm. So RD web server is going to host your website, which is going to be get the all configuration about the RDS infrastructure, and whenever you publish any application, it's going to be published on RD Web Access. So it's a IIS based website where it's going to run all the RDS infrastructure whatever application you are going to publish. So this is basically a web server which is running on RDS IS server. So next is RD gateway. RD gateway is basically a role which you require if you want to give uh, someone access from outside of your organization network to your RDS infrastructure. So you can see provides HTTP based access for users from outside organization um, over the internet. So if any users want to connect to your RDS farm, or maybe session host, or maybe VDI solution, if they want to connect from outside or the public network, they have to go to you have to have configure RD gateway, which is going to be provide a secure communication and authentication. Then they are able to get the RD web page, and then they are able to get their resources which is published on RD web access role. So these are the 5 core you can say role of Microsoft RDS services which you have to know when you are going to work with a Microsoft RDS. So let's get in. So there was Microsoft desktop deployment. There is basically 3 type of desktop deployment you can say. The first one is going to be remote desktop, second one is going to be virtual desktop, and third one is going to remote apps. So basically, as I said, there was 3 types. So the first type is a remote desktop. So you can say multiple users connecting concurrently accessing the same virtual machine or same physical machine, and this is going to be run on Windows remote desktop services. So you can see here, if in this example we have basically a session host server here. On a basically session host server, all the users are going to log into session host server, and they are going to get in, log in, and they are going to access the same server and work on a same server and a same time. So this is going to be concurrent access for users, and this is virtual desktop. So one machine for a single user at any given time. So this is same thing, like this is a VDI solution. So all the users will get the dedicated virtual machine login, which is going to be per user machines. So basically, if you are going to have a virtual desktop environment, if like your user 1 is going to be login, user 1 is going to get their dedicated desktop, and if user 2 is going to log in, they are going to get their dedicated desktop. So all the users are going to have their dedicated machine. And also they have a 2 type of deployment in desktop deployment, which is personal and pulled. So we are going to discuss when we are going to do the VDI deployment, and we'll see how we can do the pulled in deployment and how we can do the personal deployment. And the next next topic is going to be third type of deployment, which is remote apps. So you can see here, access to application hosted on remote machine, no desktop environment. So the users are going to get only the remote application, they are not going to get any desktop. So they can launch the application from remotely from their computer, and they can access and they can work on it. But the basically that application is going to be hosted on server, and the resources, when you launch the application, the resources are going to be consumed from server, and the end user is only going to see the front end of that application there, and they are going to work, and whatever work they are going to process, those all process are going to be done on remote server, which is your session host server basically. So this is 2 main slide about the Microsoft remote desktop services, and let's get in. And this is my lab environment, which I'm going to use in this demo environment to show you how to install and configure remote desktop services on Windows Server 2019. So my first server is a WinToken19 DC01. This is my Active Directory server. So my domain name is victorinfosol.local. So if I go here, this is Active Directory and DNS server, and if I go to local server, you can see here WinToken19 DC01 victorinfosol.local, and this is my IP address of my domain controller 192.168.0.201. So this is my Active Directory server. And the second server which I have is going to be my Win2K19 RDS. This is going to be my RDS server, and I'm going to join this machine in domain and configure this IP address. So this is bare machine currently. I have just installed this machine. I have not configured, not joined this machine in domain. So everything, whatever we need to do, all the tasks on RDS, we are going to do it together. So this is freshly installed machine. And next we have a two thin client machine, which is Win8 TH01 and Win8 TH02. Both machine are joined in my domain. So here you can see this is TH01 and this is going to be TH02. So both are, you can see, embedded machines. So this is going to be your basically thin client machine, and you can see we have a very less application here installed on these machines. So these two machines are a thin client machine, and both machines are joined in my domain. So let's verify. If I go here and run set, you can see this is my logon server Win2K19 DC01, my Active Directory server, and I have logged in with my user, which is here you can see user02, and the user02 is basically coming from login domain victorinfosol.local. So this is my user domain, which is victorinfosol.local. So I have logged in with the two thin client machine, and if I go here and Active Directory users and computers, you can see here I have two thin client machine. I have few users here, user 0 to user 5, and this is my Active Directory infrastructure. So now let's go ahead and configure this server and install a join in domain. So I'm going to do it now. So I'm on Win2K19 RDS. So I'm going to configure IP address first on this machine. So I'm going to make it disable IPv6, and I'm going to configure IPv4 192.168.0.202 and then 192.168.0.1, and my primary DNS is going to be my domain controller IP address, and the alternative gateways DNS is going to be my gateway address. So IP address configuration done. We got the internet, you can see here, and now I'm going to join this machine in domain. So change Win2K19 and RDS, and I'm going to type my domain name, which is victorinfosol.local. Hit OK, and now put the credential to join this machine in domain. Welcome to the victorinfosol.local domain. So this is good. So now we can go ahead and restart this machine. So now I'm going to create one admin user here called RDS admin. And I'm going to log in by this account on my RDS admin RDS server. So I'm going to join this user in my domain admin also, so it will get the access on administrator access on my computer, which is RDS02. So here you can see the server is joined now, and I'm going to move it to correct OU, which is our India and servers. So this is moved now. So now I'm going to log into this machine on RDS server by my RDS admin account, and we will got the administrator access also, as this account is a domain admin account. So now I'm logged in, and you can see this machine is now joined in my domain. So we are good. Now I'm going to install RDS role. So add role and features, click next, and this is going to be a remote desktop services installation. You can see install required role and role services for VDI to create virtual machine desktop deployment or session based desktop deployment. So click next, and now as I said, I'm going to use the most simple way to install a RDS. So in this server you can see a standard deployment. You can deploy across multiple servers, which we are going to configure in next videos. So for now I'm going to create and deploy everything on one server. So you can see a quick start allow you to deploy remote desktop services on one server and create a collection for publishing remote application. So we are going to do on this type of installation, quick installation in this video. So if you go ahead, click next, you will see what type of deployment you want to do, like virtual machine based deployment or session host. So we are going to do the session host deployment, which is going to be a session host based desktop or remote application. So click next, and now you can see we have one server is already added in a as a connection broker and everything. So this is good. So you can see quick start will install Rds Connection Broker, RD Gateway and session host role on this on a same server. So basically this is going to install these three roles: session host, connection broker and RD web access, because we are not going to host the virtual VDI desktop deployment. So this is not going to install RD virtualization, and gateway is not necessary because this is additional role which you can install later on also. So I'm going to install this quick install, which is going to install these three roles. So click next. And now you can see following role is going to be installed and restart the server automatically, because the session host deployment which require reboot for this computer. So we are good, and I'm going to click on deploy. So now it's going to install all these three roles: remote desktop services, and it's going to install a session collection. It's going to install a remote app programs. So this is going to take some time to get the installation done, and also this is going to be reboot your computer. So let's wait for it. And I'm also going to install MS Office on this machine. So you can see I have installed like plugged MS Office 2016 installation media here. So once the server is rebooted, we are going to install MS Office, and we are going to verify two things here and a quick installation. I'm going to verify this remote desktop publishing and remote app publishing. So we are going to verify two things in a quick installation which we are performing, and later on we are going to like deploy remote desktop, virtual desktop, remote app, all are on multiple servers. So we are going to cover that uh, type of deployment also in next videos. So you can see it's still installing. So this installation is going to take some time, around 2 to you can say 2 to 5 minutes, depending on your server performance. So now this server is rebooting. RDS is rebooting now, waiting the installation. So now it's working on features, so it's going to come up soon. So now we are good. I'm going to hit Ctrl+Del and log into the server. So after the RDS installation, basically after installing RDS session host server, you will get a login screen like this. It's not going to remember last user login name, so you have to make sure you type the correct username and password. Now let's wait for server manager to pop up, and now you can see it's configuring remote desktop services role. So it's in progress. So you can see 2 is succeeded, and everything is now succeeded. And this is the web access URL. You can see connect to RD web access. So you can hit this link and you are able to get to the RDS web page. So this is good. And can can see this. Now we are able to get to the remote app and desktop collection page, which is remote desktop services. You can see the RD web access role is here working, and now basically go here. You will see here we got the remote desktop services and IIS also, because IIS is hosting this web page which is publishing the from where the published application and desktop user can access. And now if I go to here remote desktop collection, you will see remote desktop services overview. We got all three roles installed on this machine, which is Win2K 19 RDS, and we have additional feature also. If you wish to install a RD gateway, you can install a RD gateway also. If you wish to install a RDS licensing, you can go ahead and install RDS licensing also. So this is, and if you go to servers, you can see all the servers which you have. So I have only this server in and this RDS farm. So this is the server, and if I go to collection, you can see it's by default it's created one collection called quit basically quick session collection. If you go here quick sessions collection, and if I go here, you can see we have a host servers, one server. We have connections, only one connection for now. So you can view the connections, all the connection which is coming to this server on real time, and if you wish to log off, shadow and disconnect, you can do that. And if you go here, you can see what application is already published and to whom this is going to be have access. So you can see currently user group domain users means all the domain users having access to this application or this web page. So if I go here and try to log in from my thin client machine, if I go here and open the Internet Explorer, and in the Internet Explorer I am going to type this URL which we got. So basically URL is still here, RD web is going to be URL. So I'm going to put this in my URL and continue to this page, because we are getting this error or certificate error, we are getting this. So now I'm going to type my username following with the my domain name. So Victor Infosol user01 and password. So now you can see by default we have three applications published, and we got access to these three applications. And from here you can see calculator, paint and WordPad is published. So this is good. So if you want to wish to access any application, you can go and just click, and then it's going to give you the access to that application. So basically you are getting to the server by having one session created on server. You can see we logged in and we got the notepad running. And if you want to open a paint or WordPad, you can go ahead and see we got all the three application. And now if I go to RDS server and open a task manager, you will see under the users we got one session from this user called user01, because this user is connected from remote desktop services. So if I go here on a connections and if I refresh this, you will see we got one connection from user01. And let's do the same from other machine, which is my thin client second machine. So I am going to paste it here. Oops, might be this having some DNS issue. So I'm going to type the IP address of my machine and RD web, and let's see if I'm able to access. Yeah, we got the access. So I'm going to click continue to with this website. Now I'm going to put my credential Victor Infosol and user02 and password for user02, and we got in. And now I'm going to launch calculator here. So open and let's connect. So this machine having some issue because it's not going to connect through the name, so I'm going to reboot this machine once, and let's till the time this th0t is rebooting, I'm going to um, install MS Office package on this machine and going to publish that MS Office. So from my DVD drive, I'm going to launch this MS Office 2016. So I'm not going to install everything, I'm just going to install, like you can say, Excel. I'm going to install a PowerPoint, and I'm going to install Word, these tools also. So we got MS Office tools, Word, Visio Viewer, and PowerPoint, and going Excel. So click on install now. So once this installation is done, we are going to add more from here, publish remote programs. So let's wait for this installation to get finished. So installation is almost 70% completed, so it's going to take a few more seconds, I guess. Till the time installation is going on, let's try one more time to run the application from this thin client 2. I have rebooted this machine. Now I'm going to again open Internet Explorer and going to open RD Web. Now you can see I'm able to this is able to resolve this address, and I'm going to type my credential here, and let's try now to open a calculator. So I'm going to type my credential again here. So now you can see I'm able to log in. So this is good, and now open Paint also. So we got Paint and calculator both on this machine, and now you can see also the session for user 02 is here on Task Manager, and let's verify on RDS. So I'm going to click here refresh. So you got session for user 2 also, and if you wish you can do the log off also. So you can see now it's going to, the connection has been logged off, and both the application was disconnected, and you are disconnected from app server also. So this is good. Now we have to publish, let's log out this user also. So you can see I am disconnected from th01 also. So now, so MS Office installation is completed now, and we can close this. And also you can see here we have no session for user 1, users 2 anymore. And so now I'm going to add application. So publish remote application, and what you are going to select, Excel, we have MS Word, and we have a PowerPoint. So I'm going to publish these 3 applications, and you can see the path, and I'm going to click on publish. So these 3 applications are going to publish and going to come here, remote app programs. So now you can see we got all 3 application published, and all these applications are here. So if I go to edit properties of any one program, you can see the you can change the name. If you wish to change the name, you can show the remote app. If you wish to show in remote app, you can also create a folder and put all these stuff or icon or your application in a folder. So parameter, do not, these are some advanced option. Also you have a user assignment. If you want to wish any specific user to use this application, you can add, so only those users are going to have access to this application which we have published. And file type extension also available. So if I go here and see this properties Word, we can got more option. You can see here this is going to give you all the file extension here. which can Word associate with. So this is good. Now I'm going to log in again here, and I'm just going to refresh this and see if Word and all these applications now available here. So I'm going to click here and open Word. So I'm going to type my credential for user 01. You can see I'm again connecting to server, and I got my MS Office Word app working here. So this is good, and we got the session here also for user 01. So this is all about how to do how to install and configure Microsoft RDS quick installation. So in next video I'm going to cover more like advanced options, advanced video on Microsoft RDS, how to configure session host with the multiple servers, how to do VDIs deployment with the cluster independent Hyper-V host, all these things. So this is all about this video. So thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe me for more videos. And if you have any query, any question related to this video, you can always post me on my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.